African Girl Empowered. I talk about different topics that affect women and girls, women's health issues, beauty, well-being, and how to live the life that you dream about. So today I'm here with another topic that affects us, and this topic is on the law of attraction and Christianity. And so I've been wondering about this topic for a while now, and I have seen many videos on YouTube that are talking about the law of attraction, what it is, how to do the law of attraction, the 5 steps or 3 steps, or I don't know how many steps there are out there. And then I've also seen some videos where people are talking about it from a Christian point of view, and they seem to be saying that it is demonic, it is not Christian. There is nowhere in the Bible that talks about the law of attraction or the concept of attracting things to you. And so I have been pondering about this for a while, and I decided to do a video about it. Why not? And so I am just wondering, this video is really just putting my thoughts out there. I'm not saying that it's right or wrong. It's just me putting my thoughts out there and also sharing my experience. And maybe you guys can also put it in the comment box if you've experienced something like this, and whether for you that was law of attraction working, or whether that was God answering your prayers and it's so different from the law of attraction. So I'll share my experience. So a few years ago, I didn't have a car, and I was wanting to have my first car, and that was a big deal to me. And so every year, at the beginning of the year, I pray and I set one big goal for the year, and I pray about it, and I ask God to grant my request for that year, that one big major thing. So for that year, it was January 1st, I went down on my knees and I prayed, and that year I prayed for a car. I said, Lord, I just want a car. I want to own my own car. I'm tired of taking the bus. I'm tired of asking friends for a ride. I just want to own my own car. And so, Lord, I just pray that you grant me this request. And so after praying that prayer, I forgot about it and I went on with my business. So that was January 1st, and I do this every year on January 1st. I set my intention, I kneel down in a quiet place, I give thanks to God for the previous year, and then I set my intentions for the year that is just starting. And I always pray for one major thing that I want God to bless me with, and then that's it. And so this is a practice that I usually do, and I've been doing this for many years. So that year it was a car. And so the following day, I was in the morning getting ready to go to church, and I was just feeling so joyous, and I was just feeling a lot of gratitude, and I couldn't understand where it was coming from. It was just extra. I was just praising God, and I was just telling God, thank you for everything that you've done in my life. And I was just in this place of such gratitude. I cannot explain where that feeling came from, but it was just evident. It was just there. So I was getting ready to go to church, and as I stepped outside of my house to start to go to church, I noticed this car on my driveway, a red car right there. That's the picture of the red car. It was just sitting on my driveway. So I was so shocked. I was like, wait a minute, whose car is this? And so I see my neighbor, and I recognize him. It's my neighbor. He was walking towards me, towards my door, and he's like, oh, good morning, sorry, I hope I didn't scare you by parking my car in your driveway. We just have quite a few cars in our own driveway, and we don't have the space for it. My wife just got a new car, and my son has his car there, and I have mine. We only have space for 2 cars in our driveway. We noticed that your driveway was empty, and so we just parked it here, but I'm just coming to ask if it's okay. If it's not okay with you, I'll move it. But before you freak out, I'm the one who parked my wife's old car in your driveway. And so I was like, oh, thanks for the explanation. He didn't know what I prayed about 2 days ago. And so I just said, well, it's okay. No problem. Thanks for letting me know. And so then I just asked, oh, so you have 3 cars now. What are you gonna do long term about the parking situation? It's, oh, it's just for temporary, and I'm looking to sell this car, so we don't have the space for parking, so I'm looking to sell this car. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm looking for a car. So I told him, I'm looking for a car. And he said, oh, this one is a good one. It's very good for women. It's small, it's easy to maneuver, it's great on gas. It was my wife's first car and she really loved it. And so it would be great for you. It's already in your driveway. And so I was just like, oh, perfect. This couldn't get any better. And he said, I'll even throw the plates in for you. You don't have to pay for that. So it's just ready to drive. Go change the ownership and it's ready to drive. And so I was just like, oh, wow. It was happening so fast. I could not even like put the two what was happening right there and then in front of me, and the prayer that I had prayed a few days prior, I couldn't connect those two. It was just happening so fast. So I said, oh wow, that's a great idea. And so I said, how much are you selling this car for? And he told me it's practically free. I'm just looking to get rid of it. If you can give me a couple $100, that's fine, because really it's not about the money. I just need to get rid of it. We don't have the space for it, and I don't have the time to go and post it on some website or go to a dealership to sell it. So you'll be doing me a favor. I could not believe it, and I was going to church. So after that, I just hurried up and went to church. And after that, I was walking back home, and I was just feeling, you know, like this thought coming back. In my experience, it was like the Holy Spirit was reminding me of my prayer a few days prior, saying, you prayed for this and now it's here. And so I got back home and I went into my room and knelt down and I was like, Lord, is that you? Is it you who was doing this? Is it you who was responsible for this? I prayed to you. I know I prayed to you. So I know that this is from you. Thank you, Lord. So that was my experience and how I got my first car. So now you know that experience. So tell me, was that law of attraction, or was it a miracle? Was it something Christian that is in the Bible? How Jesus told us how to pray. Ask, believe that you have received and you will receive it. Was that? Ask and you shall receive, and I asked and I received? Or was that law of attraction? Which one was it? I wasn't too sure, because when I looked at the videos, I watched the videos about the law of attraction, it seemed to be talking about those steps, and it seems like those are the steps that I followed when I was going through this process. I did not know that there was something called law of attraction. I didn't know that I was practicing law of attraction, but those steps worked in that way. So when I look at it, could I say that I manifested a car? My first car, I actually manifested it. I set the intention, I asked, and I practiced gratitude, and I detached from it. I didn't think about it anymore. And then voila, it just showed up on my driveway, and that was a manifestation. I attracted that car to me. I attracted it in such a way that my neighbor thought of my driveway to come and park that car in my driveway. He didn't think to go to another neighbor's driveway. There was probably someone else who had space in their driveway or in their parking, but he gravitated to my space. Was it a coincidence that a few days prior, that is the very thing that I had prayed about to God? Was all that just a coincidence? Or was all that the plan of God? Because he already knows our desires even before we tell him, and he already knows how those desires will be fulfilled even before we figured it out. And so that was my experience. And on reading up on this topic, I was a little bit confused about which one it was. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, I know who I prayed to. I prayed to the one living God, the one that I serve, the God of Abraham, the God of Moses, the God of David, the God of Ruth. That is the one that I prayed to. And at the end of the day, I believe that He is the one that answered my prayer. The methodology may be different for different people, but that's what happened with me. I just felt that this is what I desire. And I knelt down and I prayed and I asked with no doubt. I did not have a doubt that I will receive the answer to my prayer. I did not doubt that I will own my car in that year. The year was just starting. By January 3rd, I was owning my car. That was 2 days after my prayer. It didn't take months. It didn't take up to the end of the year. It was already there in my possession within 2 days. So, friends, if you have any similar experience or you can explain it better to me, I really appreciate it. Please put it in the comments box. Let's hear about it. Or if you have an explanation for me, yes, that was law of attraction, that was not God performing a miracle, or was it even a miracle? So to me, I call it a miracle. It was my miracle. I tell people about it, but maybe it's not even a miracle. So please comment, let me know. And it's interesting for me, just because I see a lot of videos out there and people saying do not even look at law of attraction material, it's not Christian, and discouraging other people from doing that. For me, I am open-minded. I like to explore things and have an open mind to things and not be quick to judge, because at the end of the day, it's the underlying principles that I'm looking for, and at times the underlying principles may be all the same, but I could be wrong. I'm not an expert on the law of attraction. I'm a Christian woman, and so I approach it from that perspective. But maybe for someone who is not ascribing to a certain religion, or maybe for someone who is not following a certain religious methodology or religious principles, maybe that is the way of explaining how you pray for something and you receive. Maybe that is the way of explaining that. It's just not put in the context of religion and of God as we know Him, and maybe it is in the context of the universe or a higher power, but the underlying principles are really just the same. And it's all about the semantics, that when you look at the methodology, the steps, they're all the same. It's just the semantics and the context. But I could be wrong. Please, comments box, let me know your thoughts. Let me know whether this is actually the case or not, or if you have an experience that you want to share. That would be awesome, and other people could also learn from this. People who are praying for things that they want to see in their life, and it's taking so long and they are not seeing these prayers being answered, and they want to understand why, or they want to know how to pray in a way that they get their prayers answered. And so I'm going to do another video on answered prayers and my experience with it. I'll just share my experience with it on how I pray and get my prayers answered, because the car was one thing, and since then there's been so many similar experiences. It's sometimes mind-boggling, and so I will share some of that as well. But in this video, I just wanted to focus on praying as a Christian woman and receiving your answered prayers versus the law of attraction, and which is which, and Are the two really just the same? And the difference is the context and the semantics. Let me know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Please do not forget to hit the notification bar so that you receive a notification every time I post a video. Subscribe to my channel and support this great work that we're doing, helping women all over the world to achieve well-being, to be empowered from the inside so that they can live the life of their dreams. That is my goal, and I believe that it's possible for every woman out there. So thank you so much, and I can't wait to put out another video. Thank you. Bye.